Come on. Yes! Yes! Woo! So if you guys are new to the channel, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoy it, and consider subscribing if this is the kind of stuff you like to see. It's definitely the kind of stuff I like to see because today is, well, it's been a long time coming. We're going to be working on my Ferrari. This is one of my most anticipated builds just for me. I really am excited to work on this car. But one of the builds that you guys have helped me support was this, my $1 million show car build, my Lamborghini Murcielago Fast and Furious build, and I wanted to give back to you guys. Now, I have new shirts here, and this shirt is only going to be available for the next few weeks, but if you want to get it for Christmas, you have to order it right now. And to give you guys a little bit of incentive, I have signed 100 Fast and Furious Hot Wheels, and they are numbered, and the first 100 orders of these shirts or any other of my shirts, link in the description below, you're gonna get one of these. So if you guys want a cool stocking stuffer for Christmas, then all you have to do is go in the link in the video description to my bunker branding page. You can get this shirt, you can get any of my other shirts. I have 4 designs up there, and we will be changing them out as time goes on and we get more builds. But this is really cool, and it actually did take a lot of time for me to sign everything, so hopefully you guys appreciate that. But today we are going to be working on my Ferrari. Yay! This is my 1995 Ferrari F355, and it has been on the back burner for quite some time. Literally on the back burner at some point, because this is a very burnt car. If you're new to this series of build, I got this from Tyler Hoover. He's another YouTuber, and this was a recall that wasn't done on Ferrari, and you should definitely do recalls on Ferraris. Yeah, this can happen. Now, if you look back here, it's just been used as a storage shelf for some body panels and stuff, and you can see that the engine is nowhere to be found. It's actually over there, it's not in the car. So the plan for this is to take off all these body panels and then graft on this. This is a Berlinetta, this is a hardtop, and that should be easy to put on. But the engine is something that I've always been a little bit concerned about, just because while it is an engine that sounds amazing, it sounds very good, it just didn't make all that much power. So this is a 3.5 liter V8 with 5 valves per cylinder. It has a lot of race car stuff, but race car stuff in the 90s. And this made around 380 horsepower, but that was at the very tippy top. But realistically, you're living at around 200, maybe 250. So I think a Ferrari should be a little bit more than that. So I had an idea. What if I fill this with this? This is the 3-rotor Mazda Rotary engine out of my crashed Superlight SLC, and I think this thing needs a new home. I haven't been able to get it running, but hopefully in this episode I will hear that rotary Dorito. What sort of sounds do these make?
Brat, brat, brat.
Hi, Jared, by the way.
Hi.
This is going to be interesting. Now, a lot of people have told me that this is a crazy project, and why would you do this to a Ferrari? Well, here's the issue. Ferraris don't make a ton of power, and they're not really reliable. Now, this isn't exactly reliable, but it does make a ton of power, and this made around 785 horsepower to the rear wheels before it crashed. This also has a Mendiola 5-speed, which is basically a trophy truck transmission, and it's a sequential shifter. You can see the shifter inside, so I think that would be really cool. So today, I think before we take anything out or do any sort of fitting or customizing of the Ferrari chassis, I want to make sure that this thing works, because this is quite a unique engine, and it's an engine that, if it's broken, it's going to cost a lot of money to fix. There's a few things that we need to do. Mainly is we need to get all the water out of those cylinders, because, well, they're not cylinders, they're rotors. Chambers. Rotor faces, okay.
Rob will correct us.
Yeah, Rob Dom, if you're in the comments, and I know you are, just correct me on everything so I can delete your comments. What we did is we just put some WD-40 inside all of the chambers, because not to lubricate anything, it's water displacement. That's what WD actually stands for, and we wanted to make sure that all the water is out of the chambers.
I guess to catch you up to speed on what we've done, we pulled the fuel line, and the very first round of fuel that I drained looked more like coffee and smelled nothing like gasoline. That was the first round of stuff that came out.
That looks exactly like coffee.
And then just this morning, that was after 5 fresh gallons in the empty tank, and it's much better. Smells like gasoline.
We also took out the spark plugs. Apparently, these spark plugs are a little hard to get, and if you take a look at what the spark plugs look like, yeah, they're not great, but I think we could probably clean them up.
This nut part should actually live about there, so you can install it.
Well, that's Rotary life. Nobody ever has parts for your cars.
Yeah, especially if it's a 3-rotor.
What car is it for? It's for a Unos Cosmo. You wouldn't know what it is. So without further ado, let's get to trying to get this started. Fingers crossed. So we got a bunch of stuff out of the chambers. However, you did see us putting our fingers near the chambers just to see if it was a consistent like pop, 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 pop. Didn't really look good.
Rotor 1, which had the most water in it, was giving us a pretty good pulse. The other 2 rotors are giving us just 1 strong pulse, which indicates we probably have a stuck apex or a stuck side seal. Because the way they'll work is the reason you only end up having 1 is as you have that triangle, if you round one of those corners of the triangle off, all of that air can move between those 2 chambers and you have 1 that still seals. So we've got a lot more cleaner in there. We're going to put the plugs in to try to force it to release the apex seals.
Well, I mean, listen, this engine is probably going to release apex seals at one point in its life or another. Might as well be today. This isn't going to be the startup because we're not putting any ignition onto it, but this is just cleaning out all the chambers. And this is definitely what you should do when you're looking at a car that's been sitting for a while, especially this. It's been in the junkyard for, well, I have no idea. It's been there for at least half a year, and it's been rained on, and I know that water has gotten into the engine, so we don't know if this engine is good. Most likely this is going to have to be taken apart and then resealed, but that's just another project. Why not just add it to the list, right?
Yeah, just a few more things. Why not?
It's just an engine rebuild. Why not? All right, so that's nasty. Woo!
The good news is just listening to it crank, it sounds like we've maybe picked up another rotor face. Like a quick ear compression test when you're spinning something over, you should kind of hear the starter consistently working, like it releases and works, because you'll have a piston coming up, down, or a rotor face making compression. So if you have an 8-cylinder engine and it's cranking along and all of a sudden you hear a long pause between that strain, there's probably not any compression there because it's not working to push the piston up.
It's just a dead piston, right.
And that there's a million and one causes, but...
Dude, if we're just adding rotors now, I mean, why did Rob Dahm take all that time to make a 4-rotor? He could have just like...
sprayed some PB Blaster and just spun it over and then ta-da.
Boom, 4-rotor. That's how you do it.
So if we go and get 5 more cans, we can have an 8-rotor?
That's how it works, I'm pretty sure. All right, hit it. We're going to see what color the fuel is.
Oh, hey, it's already flushed.
Yeah, that's not bad. So it's clear with a little red tinge because we put some premix oil in there, right?
Yep. I actually put extra oil in the gas just to make sure, since everything is kind of in a sad state of neglect.
Are you trying to say that the car I got from a salvage yard is not 100%?
Probably not. There's more than just fuel quality issues going on with your whole car.
Jared, it's December. Why are you sweating?
Well, it was 30 degrees last week, and it's 80 degrees and humid today. I don't know what to bring to Florida
Why are you
anymore.
sweating, Jared?
Hey, Freddie.
What?
Tavarish, not to confuse people. Can you get my calibrated torque installer for rotary spark plugs?
I found the calibrated torque installer tool.
All right. Can you get me the calibrated wrench?
Okay. Yeah, that looks like it.
This is what you do when you don't have the right spark plugs. Okay.
What happened?
I'm just laughing at the fact that we're using a hammer and a screwdriver to install spark plugs on an expensive rare engine.
Is that a problem? Is that generally a problem for you?
You know what? No.
These coils have to get connected to the engine at some point. So hopefully we didn't mess up the wiring. So the front goes to the bottom. there are 2 plugs per rotor, and one is leading and one is trailing. I guess it's for efficiency or something. I don't know. This is all magic. All right, this is how you start a rotary. Hopefully, maybe. Fingers crossed. Okay, how about I do this? I'll do this part, okay, and you work the throttle. We're not gonna need any goat juice, dude.
Just in case.
Yeah, but don't go crazy with it. I know you love to use that. Okay, fuel pump on, ignition on. Stop! All right, I told you not to do it. All right, and fire in the hole. All right, now this is round 2. We actually did a lot of work off camera because the camera just died. So we took off the upper intake manifold. This actually has 2 fuel rails. We have a secondary right here and a primary down here, and they both have 3 injectors. And we cleaned all of them because those injectors were quite dirty. We cleaned them with brake clean. We made sure to put some compressed air through this little pintle filter, I guess you would call it. And then hopefully, this shouldn't have any more water in it, but we did put a borescope down into the chamber, and it's I don't know. It doesn't look very good. I think it's time to send it. I'm gonna go and send it. Okay? Where's that starter fluid so I can put it away from you? And oh, come on!
Get the little help.
Yeah, there you go. Whoa! Come on! Yes! Yes! Woo!
We have a 3-rotor!
Yes!
There's a lot of water in it!
Woo! Dude! Yeah! All right, it just died.
You didn't turn it off?
Nope. It's something.
Something turned off.
Yeah, something turned off.
The ECU turned off.
Yeah, the ECU turned off. Is there? What's on fire?
Nothing.
Are you sure?
Yes. What I like is the water coming out of every orifice of the exhaust here.
Check this out. It went from here, sprayed water all up. It just destroyed my floor.
Here. And it's very slippery.
Woo! That's a long trail. This thing is spicy. 1, 2, 3.
Imagine that in a Ferrari, and again, there's no warming up when there's no coolant.
What do you mean there's no warming up when there's no coolant?
There's no coolant. How are you going to warm an engine up? There's no coolant.
You don't have to warm it up. Ah! Well, okay. Now it runs, and Jared's not allowed near cars for the first start anymore.
I do what I want.
You know what you did. This is running. Hopefully it's running on all the rotors. I think so. I mean, it sounded pretty good. But what we have to do now is we have to assess the damage in this SLC, and that's going to be a whole nother episode. And we also have to take out this engine because, well, it's a little bit worse for the wear. A bunch of mounts and stuff are broken all around it. And then we also have to do stuff like the cooling system, like the turbo, because the turbo back here, or actually in front, it's not looking very good. It's, yeah, it's not good. So that has to get replaced. We're definitely going to do a custom setup, and then this hopefully should go in a Ferrari. This is going to require a lot of fabrication. It's not just a straight drop-in, as you can imagine, and it's actually a lot longer than you think it is, and that is what she said. So we have to do some modification to the front of the actually the back of the fuel tank in the Ferrari. I'm going to show you that in the next episode when we take this out and do some measurements, because I wager that this whole setup might be a little bit of a problem for our Ferrari. But as always, Jared has done so much work, and we got this thing running, and I thank you so much, dude. You are... What?
It's fun.
So that's going to be it for this episode. Please do check out all my merch, my shirts. We did spend a lot of time making these, and I really like it when you guys show up to meets and car events and stuff wearing my stuff. It's a cool way to support the channel. And also, the first 100 of you will get that little Hot Wheels car with my signature. So that's kind of cool. But only today is when you get a guaranteed shipment for Christmas. So definitely go check that out. But until next time, this is me reminding you guys that on cars like this that now have awesome 3-rotor engines, and hopefully don't need more work.
You got Italian tuna. Rev it out.
Okay, don't do that on new engines. You guys need to wrench every day, and also build it. We should build it better.
Build it better.
Yeah, and build it better when you wrench. That doesn't sound very good. Okay, bye guys.